just says contains a bioengineered ingredient. It used to say genetically modified. Now it says bioengineered. I don't know which one is worse. They're both the same thing, but the phrasing has been changed. I guess a lot of people look at bioengineered as not sounding as bad as genetically modified, although they mean the exact same thing. Now, there are people out there who will tell you that a genetically modified or bioengineered is not a big deal. It's not a bad thing. It just means that they have spliced these things and tweaked these things so that maybe corn will grow all year long instead of only in whatever it used to grow in, or green beans will stay fresher longer. They're going to tell you that genetically modified and bioengineered things are just as healthy and just as good for you as non-messed with things. And I don't know that there's enough actual research out there done by independent labs or independent people for me to believe it. Because right now, the people telling you that it's okay for you are the same people who are making it and profiting off of it. So of course they're going to tell you it's fine for you to eat. Of course they're going to tell you not to worry about it and just go about your daily life. But these are also the same people who tell you that drinking the water from the Ohio River, the Mississippi River, or the Delaware right after there's been a chemical spill in it isn't a big deal. It's fine. Go drink it. You'll be fine. Just boil it for a second. Although boiling water, I'm pretty sure, actually ups the fluoride in it, like does something, changes it to something, so then it's actually worse for you when you drink it. I'm going to have to look into that. I'm pretty sure that's what I read before, and now my brain is escaping me, so I'm going to have to look into that. If you guys know, leave a comment. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, if I'm ever wrong, I'd much rather you guys let me know than let me sit here and think that I'm right on something, because I don't want to give you false information ever in time. But at Walmart today, walking through there, the bread is the new, like the thing that bothers me the most is a lot of us eat sandwiches. We eat subs, we eat regular sandwiches. There's bread and all kinds of stuff. Bread is one of those easy staples that you can pretty much make anything with it. You can make a whole meal as long as you have some sort of bread. You can throw anything in between it. You got mayonnaise, make a mayonnaise and cheese sandwich. You got peanut butter, you can have just peanut butter and bread. It's kind of the easier route when you're on a fixed income, low budget, whatever, is to go with bread. Here's the problem though. Bread back in the day when it was made in your mom's kitchen, your grandma's kitchen, was made from what? Flour, water, yeast, salt maybe, and then you were done. You have bread. Maybe I'm missing an ingredient, but then you have bread. And if you don't eat it within a couple days, it goes bad. It will mold and you have to throw it out. Today's bread, today's manufactured bread that is designed to not squish, that is designed to last 2 or 3 weeks, has so many chemicals in it that it will kill you as opposed to nourish you. So now I have my family and we're trying very hard to avoid bread that is not a homemade or a made in restaurant kind of bread. I don't want the ones that are sitting on the shelves for 2 weeks and still have another week that they're good. I want the fresh bread. I want the bread that has ingredients in it that I can pronounce, that I can find and make on my own. I don't want the bread that is impossible to make because it includes all these chemicals that you can't buy on your grocery store shelves. You know what I mean? So I think that as people, what we need to do is really pay attention to what we are buying, not just what we're putting in our bodies. All right, y'all, I just want to point something out to you. You guys can see here, this is the Great Value, which is Walmart, the wheat and honey bread. This is also a Walmart product that's made in store, okay? You see the words here, freshness guaranteed. What I want to point out to you is on the back here, you will see the words contains a bioengineered food. Generally speaking, the bioengineered foods you're going to find in these things will be the wheat, the sugar, or if there's corn. This one though, it is made fresh here in the store and it has no bioengineered foods, meaning this one is designed to go bad within a few days. This is designed to last for weeks on end. Pick the fresh every single time.
Let he that thinketh he stand take heed lest he fall. Are you still standing? Have you fallen? Are you still walking with Christ? Or you are just walking for Christ? Walking for Christ is not alone, because you might do things in your own ways. But when you walk with Christ and walk for Him and walk with Him, He will guide you. You will ask Him questions. You will seek counsel from Him. But many pastors don't do that today. Many preachers no longer seek counsels. Many Christians, many believers, they no longer depend on God. And that is why you are not aware of the time we are living in. That is why the devil is deceiving you now. Has your love for God died? Have you lost your first love for Christ? You need to find it back, trace it back, pick it up, because there is no time. Human lives are in danger. Collect phones from them. If you want to save your children, collect cartoons from them. If you want to save your children, collect video games from them. Because devil is already after your children. All the teenagers. How do your teenagers become gay? How do your teenagers become lesbians? It is through technology. They are using technology to destroy your kids, to destroy the whole world. Why is it that porn video is free? The only videos you watch online for free of charge is porn videos. If it could be browsing online and a pornography will begin to pop up on your face, and they will force you, they will coerce you into clicking it. It is a strategy. Devil is the one doing all these things because they want to destroy your life.
You've probably been ingesting and living with genetically modified plants without even knowing it. While some have practical purposes, others aren't quite what we consider a necessity. Number 10, bug-killing corn. The corn borer is a nightmare insect, specifically for farmers specializing in growing maize. Thanks to genetic modifications to regular corn that may be in your refrigerator right now, the corn borer is no longer a big issue. This genetically altered crop produces the Bt protein, which acts as an insecticide against the crop's biggest enemy. To keep the borer from evolving a natural immunity against the protein, crops are required to be a ratio of 80% of the GM plants to 20% of regular corn. Introduced in 1996, the modified corn has benefited farmers in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Wisconsin, saving an estimated $7 billion in total. Number 9, non-browning apples. Ever cut into an apple and set it aside for a minute? By the time you turn back to your fresh fruit, it's already starting to look a little worse for wear. The browning process, or oxidation of the apple, is very rapid. But there's a cure-all in a genetically modified version produced by Okanagan Specialty Fruits in Canada. These specially treated Arctic Golden and Arctic Granny apples are developed through a gene splicing process that negates the chemical reaction responsible for the browning process. As of 2015, the U.S. Department of Agriculture decided to deregulate the engineered apples, starting a long road to consumer consumption in the future. Number 8, Flavor Saver Tomato. It's hard to ignore the very infomercial-esque name of this genetically modified tomato, and there's a chance it had something to do with the eventual failure of this long-lasting version of the popular vegetable, or fruit. Flavor Saver tomatoes, developed by now-defunct Calgene, were created to have a longer shelf life and stronger exterior, which would allow them to be harvested without worry of damage to the product. In the end, though the tomato proved to last longer, it still retained its softness and had to be handled as any other red tomato. An advancement in flavor down the line caused a jump in Flavor Saver pricing, and over time, both Calgene and its staple product vanished. Number 7, Super Bananas. Despite popular belief, household bananas are not genetically modified, despite looking nothing like their wild counterparts. That doesn't mean there aren't GMO versions of the fruit out there, though. In fact, scientists have moved forward in creating what is being dubbed a super banana. Though they look like their untouched common household fruit, the engineered end product has increased levels of vitamin A. The modification was done in hopes of helping the thousands that succumb annually to fatal vitamin A deficiencies. By 2020, researchers hope to have the product in Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, pending trials in the United States. Number 6, cancer-fighting tomatoes. Though the tomato has been associated with helping stave off prostate cancer, a series of genetic modifications have produced something that may be quite a bit more beneficial: the purple tomato. Initially grown in a Leamington, Ontario greenhouse, has been altered to produce a higher level of anthocyanins, an antioxidant typically found in blueberries, plums, and blackberries. Anthocyanins is not only responsible for the purple color of these fruits, but is also believed to fight off cancer. Initial testing of the purple tomato performed on mice had shown a lifespan increase of 30% than those on a diet of plain red tomatoes. Irrigation will be a suitable means of pollutant cleanup in the future. Number 4, venomous cabbage. It's going to be difficult to market cabbage spliced with a scorpion venom-created virus. But that's one of the many genetically engineered plants on the horizon. While we're conditioned to fear getting stung by a scorpion, the venom being interlaced with heads of cabbage will not be harmful to humans, or so we hope. Instead, the target in this scenario is caterpillars. The scorpion makeup will rapidly introduce a nerve poison into the dining caterpillar, causing it to become paralyzed, allowing the virus to kill it. Early trials showed that the engineered virus was fatal to dozens of species of butterflies and moths, leaving many to question just how ecologically safe venomous cabbage really is. Number 3. Genetically modified tree.
Welcome back. This is Endtime Evangelist. I believe and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. This prophecy has come to pass. This prophecy that Jesus Christ himself told us what would precede his coming had come to pass. Matthew 24 verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All these are the beginning of sorrows that will precede the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Let us jump to verse. Let's jump to verse 11. Verse 11 of Matthew 24. And many false prophets shall arise. Many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Is it not happening right now? That is why I said I will start exposing all the false prophets and fake churches, not just in Africa, in as many as I can. I'll begin to expose them so that we can save souls. The flock that Jesus died for, the flock that Jesus labored for, they are deceiving them and sending them to hellfire. I will start exposing them one by one. And any church I ask you, leave and run for your soul. If you waste time, God is going to ask you questions. When you die and you get to the gate of heaven, God will ask you, I send my messengers. They minister to you to leave that occultic church, and you refuse to run. And you will hear, depart, O ye workers of iniquity. Because when you heard the warning, you refuse to heed the warning. Instead, when you watch a video like this where they expose fake people, fake preachers that call themselves men of God, you defend them. Because they are pastors, because they are prophets, you defend them. Do you think on the judgment day you will stand for anyone or anyone will stand for you? No. On the judgment day, you stand for yourself to answer by yourself. That's why you need to heed the warning now. You need to heed the warning now. Now that you are still alive, you have every opportunity and chance to repent and come to Jesus. You need to heed the warning now. False prophets shall rise and they shall deceive many. A lot of evil, atrocities, witchcrafts, occultism going on in the house called the house of God. In the name of I am a pastor, I am a prophet, deceiving people, putting them under bondage. The same people that put you under bondage, you are defending them. Look at what is going on in the world. Devil coming with deception, because from day one he has been using deception. And people called pastors and prophets, many of them out there, they couldn't tell their members, don't take this abomination. Don't take it because it is not of God. No, they even went ahead to take it themselves and advised their members to go ahead and take it. You call yourself a shepherd of God? No, you are not shepherding any flock of Christ Jesus. You are preaching and teaching for your own belly. Very selfish and occultic people called pastors, deceiving the flock of Jesus Christ. The sword of judgment is already awaiting you unless you repent and teach people the way to heaven, the truth of the word of God. False prophets. This is happening and is glaring us in the face. And it says verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Has your love for Christ waxed cold? Do you see how the zeal to serve God the day you repented? Is it still the same now? Are you still a Christian? Are you still in Christ Jesus? Are you still a follower of Christ? Or you have fallen back into the world? Have you backslided? Are you still in Christ? Are you still standing? The Bible says, let he that thinketh he stand take heed lest he fall. Are you still standing? Have you fallen? Are you still walking with Christ? Or you are just walking for Christ? Walking for Christ is not alone, because you might do things in your own ways. But when you walk with Christ and walk for Him and walk with Him, He will guide you. You will ask Him questions.